Got some random questions here for you. What is something that you used to be obsessed with that you can't imagine doing now? Gosh, I have gotten so involved in certain things. I look back and go, what was I thinking? Where was my headspace in that era? Like, what was I doing? I just don't even understand. I have zero desire to go back and do that yet. I was so obsessed with it. It consumed all my thoughts and my time and my money and everything.
I started a wiffle ball league up, and it was with Virginia's husband and all my friends. And I remember we were playing wiffle ball down by Burns Road, and there were all these hot girls walking by on the jogging trail because that's where our field was at. And we were in our, I think, early 30s, and everyone got into this huge fight about wiffle ball. And all these hot girls are looking over at us going, what are these dorks doing? And I was also making a Wiffler, a newsletter for with stats of every game.
Oh, yeah.
And it was taking up so much of my time.
It
The
does.
Whiffler.
But it was for 7 of my friends. They all loved it. But at what cost, Virginia?
Yeah, you went all in.
I went all in. I go, I think I'm wasting my time on this.
Yeah.
Dude, were you with Panda during that? I don't know if you
No,
were.
I don't think I was. I definitely would have made fun of that. The Whiffler.
You might have not married him.
If he's just reading the Whiffler, he's okay. If he's the publisher,
No, he was in the league. I mean, he was part of the argument going on. These are 30-year-old men arguing about wiffle ball.
Yeah, I think probably mine that I can't believe, mine's even dorkier than wiffle ball. Mine used to be a dog sport called fly ball. And
You loved it.
I was in my early 20s. And I was hanging out with middle-aged people.
you were the youngest guy by far.
Going to dog tournaments in the Midwest in towns like Peoria that were just terrible, and there was nothing else going on, and everybody's wearing matching uniforms that would coordinate with your dog. And I'm like, one day I'm like, well, wait, what's going on? How did I get in this? What am I doing here? It's just like I woke up in the middle of it all and said, wait a minute.
I've been
How did I
brainwashed.
get here? Like, what am I? I'm in Peoria? Why am I in Peoria? This makes no sense. I look back on that. I'm like, how did I get into that? I have no idea. What about you, Virginia? Did you ever have something that you just be so obsessed with that you just look back and you're like going, how did I get into that? You can't imagine doing right now?
I mean, no.
Okay, good. You're
Everything
more
I've
sensible than
done,
us.
it's always been cool.
Okay. Gosh, I wish I was you.
I mean, maybe that weird Lily Pulitzer wearing phase that I went through.
Yeah, but people in South Florida go.
It's a
through
South
that.
Florida thing.
Yeah.
No, we're not digging deep enough. She has stuff that she needs to be guilty of that we're not thinking of.
Say it to me.
I'm trying to think. I know you've done some dumb stuff. I know you've been involved in some time wasters. I just can't think, damn it.
Okay, so what do you think currently is a modern trend that people might regret or laugh at in 10 years?
How much time we spend on social media.
Yeah, I think
We're going to look back on this and go, gosh, that was dumb.
I think the people who cry and do the whole emotional social media plea, because it's not like you're just going live. I'm talking about the ones that they record it, you're crying, then you upload it, you edit it. That's a process. I think in 10 years you're going to go, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah, it could be. It'll be interesting to see how that ages. The one thing my wife and I have a debate on, simply because my son has one on, but every teenage boy that we seem to see, at least the Caucasians, they do that broccoli-style haircut where the hair on top is just all kind of, messed up. And,
Is it the modern day mullet kind of?
well, I wondered because, when I was my son's age, I had a mullet where I had, it was business up front and then party in the back, long in the back. But everybody was wearing it. Celebrities had it. All the athletes had it. It was huge. And, now it's kind of, come back a bit. But it was considered to be, you were handsome if you had a mullet. And then it just got demonized for, 2 or 3 decades after that.
Well, even the Bieber cut was so popular, but it was just so flat and parted. Just swooped on the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
very boy bandy.
Yeah. I think hairstyles is one of those things that, boy, when they go out, and I don't know why, you look back at photos and be like, gosh, what was anybody thinking? And so my wife and I always wonder, because we see it so much, like, in 10 or 20 years, how's that broccoli style haircut going to age? Are people going to look back and be like, oh, what were we doing?
2 haircuts that will never fade out. The mohawk and the fat fade. The fade will never go away.
You mean like a buzz cut kind of thing?
Yeah,
trim it on the side.
Where it's blended in and you still have something. That's never going to go.
It
It's
looks
standard.
clean.
Yeah.
Just looks clean. Okay, if you could time travel to any era, but you had to stay there for a year, when and where would you go?
Ooh, that's hard.
Yeah, now we are pretty much talking about things that would have happened in the past. You don't know what's going to happen in the future and where you would even be staying. So if you had to go back to an era, had to stay there for 1 whole year, where are you going, Bird?
Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk that dinosaur. Oh, we're going back to Jurassic times.
Oh, you are?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Really?
Dude, I want to see what was really going on back then. All we have are fossils and just people guessing on what it was.
Yeah.
I want to know, how big were these bugs? How fat were these dinosaurs? There's a new theory that these dinosaurs were plumpy and thicker and fatter than what we thought.
I don't think you're gonna make it a year, bruh.
Hey, I don't give it a week.
You're gonna die.
When? I'm okay with that for science. If it's
Okay.
only a week, I'm like,
Yeah.
this T-Rex is amazing.
Yeah, it might be a 10-minute kind of thing. I don't know.
You think?
Yeah, it might drop you in. It may just be like, oh.
So within 10 minutes,
You in a Jurassic era, you might be dead in 10 minutes.
Stepped on by a woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
that or cave people times where you can kind of just see what is going on here.
The other cave people might kill you.
Yeah,
They'd
they
be
would
like,
be.
what the hell is
Yeah.
this?
Or do they go, oh my gosh, a kindred spirit from the future?
He's our leader.
I love this guy. That's finally the cult I wanted.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Janine?
don't know. It's so risky.
I would die from a panic attack.
What about you, Virginia? Is there an era of time that you look back on and be like, it'd be kind of cool to see that?
I think I would like to go back to the 80s. I think I would like to re-experience everything from
Yeah.
my youth for nostalgia reasons and re-examine things that were blatantly obvious, but we didn't even see what was going on in the 80s.
Yeah.
But I don't want to speak for Kevin, but we can't have a Doc Brown. The Continuum, Marty. We can't. You can't mess with anything from the 80s. You have to observe.
You have to live as a regular person as they would in that era.
I was such a dumb young person. I would never notice myself.
Well, for example, you couldn't go back and try to block the bullet of a Reagan. See what I'm saying? Because that changes
Yeah,
the
right.
course.
yeah, I
Right,
wouldn't.
'cause,
I
yeah,
wouldn't
you
get
have
involved
knowledge.
in that anyway.
It's what you just watch.
That's not my cup of tea.
I still think you'd mess it up.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of fun just to go back before we had you still have a lot of modern conveniences, but not so much now, where you argue that maybe the modern conveniences have actually ruined our society rather than enhanced it.
I'd love to go back to like elementary school and just vibe what it was like,
Yeah.
middle school, and just look at it with this different set of eyes. That'd be fun.
Here's
Okay.
my question. Are
Yeah.
you allowed to go back to 1982? We'll just say that year. Could you go back and just witness the Kevin Ralston as 1982, not interfere and just see
That's
how
kind of,
things
I
are
think, what it would
played
be. I think
out?
you go back as who you are now, and you're living there for a year. So you would kind of go back and you could go see young Virginia and how she was living through life.
I would love that. I would love to go back and just drink it all in and go back and see like where I used to run the streets and all the parks I used to play and all the friends I used to hang out with.
Oh, the consequences are great, though, if it does not go the right way. You cannot run into Fat Kevin. You just can't.
You just can't do it, yeah.
If you do, though, can you knock the ice cream out of his hand?
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't hang in the same places anymore. He was always at an ice cream parlor.
You go up to Fat Kevin and you knock out an ice cream.
Right.
But that's his new memory.
You know,
You
why
just
don't
keep
why don't you
knocking
try running
trees.
home, kid?
But he'll remember that now.
Jog more.
Jog more, eat less.
Oh my! That changes the whole. The course of life has changed.
It does. It does.
This is how we do. It's the KVJ Show.